Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to check out this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already and like this video. It'll take you just a moment, but it will do me a world of good. Last thing, in the description below, I have links to my Patreon page. If you have the means and you appreciate the content, please consider contributing. Just a few dollars a month from you will ensure that I'm able to continue providing the best content that you want to see. Because after all, this channel is for you. Now back to the video. Yo, what's up YouTube? Crash Wilcox Computers. Kind of stepping out of my lane here, doing something a little bit different. Now, if you're new to my channel, I typically do PC builds and PC product reviews, that sort of thing. But I wanted to put something together for some of you aspiring content creators, or maybe you're just about to jump into that deep end and you're kind of wondering, there's a lot of products out there to use, Premiere Pro and OpenShot, that sort of stuff. So I just wanted to give you my sort of quick tutorial. This is a very surface level tutorial, and hold on, the clock hasn't started yet, but this is a very surface level introduction on Davinci Resolve. It's basically every step that I think you would need to get your first video produced. Now you can go way deeper in Davinci Resolve than this. This is the free version. That's what I'm using. That's what this video is going to be made on. But there is a paid version if you find that you need more tools than what the free version offers. But the free version is pretty feature packed, so we'll dig into some of that. But this is going to be everything I think you need just to sort of get your first video up and running. So let's just jump into kind of the layout. So I'm not going to run through how to download it. I will link a description to the website that you can go to and download this, but we're not going to go through that. So let's just look at what you're going to see once you get it opened up. So right here, Davinci Resolve. This is what you're going to see when you open it up. Click on it. It's going to pop up with this. Just make sure your untitled project is selected and click open. And then this is what it's going to open into. You're going to open up into your cutscene. So real quickly, we'll walk through some of the tabs, and then we'll go into actually making that video. So right here, Media Pool. This is where you can pick what files you're looking to add to your that you want to work with. So once you come to the media pool, you can open the files that you want from here, and you can just open them, drag them down to your media pool. Another way you can do it is in the Edit tab. This is where you're going to be doing the bulk of your work in Davinci Resolve, is from the Edit tab. So if you're in here, you can come up to File, or really from anywhere, but you can come up to File. You can go to Import File, Import Media, or if you see here it says Control I. So we'll just do that, hit Control I. Then it's going to open up your the media that you want to select. So I've already moved all mine to the desktop. So we're just going to click on the files we want to use. Click Open, and you'll see that they populate here in this own editing tab's little media pool. If you come over to the other media pool, this is where they would drop, and all your files would be down here. So there we have it. These are the 4 clips we're going to use, and we're going to make a real quick little hype video for my Patreon page. So now we have our files that we're going to use. So down here, this is your timeline. This is where you're going to be doing all your work with your video clips and adding your files in and messing with them. This screen right here is sort of your sample video screen. So you can double click on your files here and they will populate into this screen. And then you can do some work that we'll go through really quickly here. This screen is showing you what's actually on your timeline. So if you want to see what the work that you've done actually looks like, it's going to be shown in this right screen. This is just going to show you the individual clip that you're double clicked on. So that's that tab. Over here, you'll have your toolbox. So you'll have video transitions, audio transitions, and titles. These are the only 3 I think that you really need to focus on, or these are the ones I'm going to focus on for this video. So we'll mess with these three here in just a little bit once we get stuff put on our timeline. And then, okay, so let's put these on, then we'll get into some of the other stuff. So the first clip we're going to use is this one right here. Like I said, you could double click on it, populate it in your sample video screen, or just click on it, drag it down to your timeline. So now we have our first clip on the timeline. So this little red bar you can drag to where you want to see on your timeline. So wherever you drag this, that's what you're going to see in your right screen. So on the top, and you can see it's split with this little green gray line right here. And you can raise and lower this if you want just by clicking and dragging on it. Videos are going to be on the top, videos or pictures, and audio only is going to be on the bottom. So from this screen, the two tools I think you need to focus on for your first couple videos is your selector tool, which is what we have now, and your blade tool. So you can select these by clicking B or just clicking on it with your mouse. A for the selector tool, B for the blade tool. So if we're going to use this entire clip, but say you didn't want to use this entire clip, well, you know what, actually, we'll drag our next clip down. We'll just drag all of our clips down and then we'll walk through the tools a little bit because it'll be easier that way. So the second clip that we want is right here. If you can't tell, we're doing a game series on Fable. Come check us out on Patreon. So we're going to set this video slightly off. You can click and drag it to where you want, and it'll just butt it up to the end of the previous video clip if you want it there. But we're going to slide it over here, and I'll show you that in just a second. So from here, we got one video clip, but typically if you can put this here and see what it looks like. Watch it up in this video, and it just goes from one clip right to the next. But typically, you don't really want to make videos look like that. You want to have transitions in. So cross dissolve is your kind of your default transition here. So if you want to use this transition, you can either just left click and drag it, but you'll see it'll let me put it at the front here, and you'll see this box. It won't let me put it at the end, and that's because these clips aren't kind of the same. It doesn't really understand it. So we're just going to separate them a little bit. Then we're going to click on this cross dissolve and add it to the end here. Now that it's added into the end here, we can slide this back up, butt it up to it, and now when we play it, it'll have this transition added in right here. So let's see what that looks like. And of course it stutters right then. God bless you. Okay. Let's try this right. There we go. And there you go. See, it just fades into the next clip. So that looks pretty good. We're going to go with that. So we do have some audio down here you guys can hear. This clip does not have audio. So we don't want this to be a part of our clip here. So what you can do is just left click on it and drag. But the problem is these two clips are linked together. That's why they're both in red. So if I click on the left audio, or on the audio on the bottom and drag down, it's going to separate both clips. And it's not terribly harmful, but to me it just makes it more difficult to work with clips in a whole bunch of different lines. So drag them back, and you can come over here. You have a lock tool. You click on, or a lock button. If you click on that, it'll lock everything in this line. So now you can do all the work you want on the audio line, or if you have 3 video lines and you lock the top 2, you can just do all your work there. But what's nice about this is we locked it. So now when we drag this audio file down, it'll leave the video file right where it was. So we're going to leave this audio file down here, and then I'm going to mute this entire line. So this M is a mute button. So now no audio will play on this line. If it wasn't muted, it'll just pick up. So once this scrolls to the end of this clip and hits here, if this isn't muted, it'll just start picking up audio from here. But we're going to mute this line and leave just line 1 for the audio we want to hear. So there we go. So we can unlock this now if we want. and then relock it later. But now we can just play, make sure that this thing looks the way that we want it to look. Yep, no audio because we have it muted, so that's fine. So next we're going to drag in the last little thing that, or the second to last that we have here, which is a picture. So we're going to grab this picture and drag it down to the end. So you can see it won't go in the audio lines, only up here on the video lines. And actually we want to have a transition here as well. So we're going to go with an oval iris transition. And then we can butt that back up there. So see the way this looks. Again, there's no audio. We're just going to see how this transition looks. That seems fine for now. But since we're making this video, we don't want it to just be silent. So we're going to drag this audio that we have here. You can see the audio won't go on the video line. It'll only come down here on the audio line. So we drag that in there. And we just want the audio to end right here. So we're going to use that blade tool I talked about. So you're going to click on the blade, or you can click B. And then come down here and you see how it turns to a razor. We basically want it to end right where that clip ends. So you just click left on it, grab your selector tool, and normally click on the segment you don't want. And you can hit the delete button, or you can right click and hit cut and just get rid of it. Now our audio is going to run through to the end of our clip. Sounds good. But if you notice here, right when this transitions, this picture doesn't fill up the full screen. So the way we're going to mess with that is we're going to come over here to our cut tool, or to our cut menu. And this is a way to do a little more fine tuning of your clips if you want to. So click on the segment that you want to work on and you'll see it pop up here. Or I'm sorry, this bar will show you where it is, but just drag that over, click on the clip that you want to work on. And then what I like to do is click on this little button here. It's the tools. And you can see it opens all these up. The two that you should really try to focus on now is crop. So if you click on crop, you can crop your picture to however you want it to look. And then transform. So we want to do transform and just pull this thing out and fill up the full screen with it. So boom, there you go. The full screen's filled up. Now we come over here to edit. And you can see the full screen is filled up. Now when we play this, the transition didn't play, but there you go. So that's the picture. So then the last thing, oh, I'm sorry, we hadn't touched on audio transitions. So if you wanted to put in an audio transition, it works just the same as a video transition. Just click on it. So then again, you see it won't let me put it in here because these files they just don't like each other. So just click on it and drag it out of the way. Drag a little transition there. Now butt it up to it. And now you'll play a little audio transition, which is normally just going to fade it in, fade it out. Nothing big there. So we're done. But then since this is a little hype video, I want to throw some text on here. So the last thing you're going to do that I think you should really focus on this screen is your titles. So you're going to click on titles, and I usually just use text. So just click on text and drag it. So you're going to see it goes up to line 2. And just drag the text to where you want it to pop up. So if we wanted to show, and you can see right there, title. So click on that box to get it highlighted in the red box. And you should see this over here. If it's not showing this, it's this inspector button isn't showing. So just click on inspector and this will pop up. And then this is your title or your text box that you can type in. So we're going to say full video. And then we're going to change the font to, you know, whatever, show card Gothic. And yep, we like that. So now you just click in the middle here and drag it up to where you want it. Looks good. And then we're going to click on a second text box and drag it over. And then click on the box to pop this one up. And we'll say sign up as an elite Patreon today. Now obviously that's too big, so we're just gonna highlight it like normal. Go to size. You can either click, hold down the left mouse button and drag left or right to resize it. I just like to click in the box and just type in what I think I want, 100, and hit enter. Boom, I think that works. Now same thing, click on the text you want and then drag it down to where you need it. And then you can change colors, you know, whatever you want. We're just going to stick with white for right now. So boom, that's the full video we have. This is everything we want. So now that you have the full timeline done, the video is kind of laid out how you want it. The next things I think that you should focus on here is coming over. Oh, and before we leave here, something that's smart to do is click on File and save this project, or you're going to screw it up and you'll have nothing to work with. And you'll be as miserable as I am when I'm doing this. So make sure you save it. But once your timeline and your whole video is done how you want it to be, click down here to color. And then you can mess with the color, you know, if you want to adjust it, you know, you can drag here however you think you want it. You can mess with, you know, the offsets and gains over here if you want. I don't mess with that too much, but you have that option. The next one, I think you can mess with Fusion. I don't think you really need to get with that too much right now, but Fairlight. Fairlight is important. So Fairlight, this is how you're going to fix the audio. So if there's noise in the background, if you know you got a squeaky little girl voice and you want to sound like John Wayne, you can mess with that in here. So what you're going to do is just find the audio line that you're working with. So we're only working with audio line 1. We're not working with audio line 2 because remember we muted that. So audio line 1, and then you're going to come over here into your mixer, and you're going to find audio line 1. So for beginner videos, I think all you really need to worry about is clicking on this effects, the plus sign. Click on it, it'll open this up. Hover over Fairlight FX, and then come down to noise reduction. Click on that. It'll bring up this, and there's a lot of things you can mess with here, your threshold, all that sort of stuff. I don't think you really need to, I mean, you can mess with it, but if you just click on audio speech mode, it will essentially let Davinci analyze your audio and basically get rid of some of the background noise and fix the voice how it thinks it would work best. So you can just click on that and it applies it to every bit of audio that's in audio line 1. So you don't need to, you know, reselect each and every segment of audio. You just need to click on what, you know, audio line 1, and then it'll adjust everything in there. So there we have it. We've done our timeline. We've saved it. We've messed with our colors, and we've fixed our audio. So now you just need to go and get this thing rendered. So now you're going to come over here, click on deliver, and it's got a pretty simple, pretty intuitive layout. So you got, you know, your YouTubes, your Vimeos. If you just want your typical video render, so we're just going to do this YouTube 1080p. That works for me. You're going to name it whatever you want to name it, and then you'll browse where you want to have it saved to. Cool, we'll just go sample here. You know, once you have this all set up how you want, you click add to render queue. And once you click that, you'll see it pop up over on this right side in the render queue. Makes sense. And then you're just going to click start render. Once you click start render, it'll run through, render the whole video, and basically export it to where you saved it at. So We've done that. Now let's go see what that full video looks like. So I've already rendered this video. It is right here. So that's the full video. Exported out, ready to be uploaded to YouTube. And then again, I would say just make sure you save it one last time before you go. And that's it. That's a real quick, down and dirty way of the tools that you need to use, the tabs that you need to focus on when it comes to using Davinci Resolve. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I'd love to see your videos up on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to this channel if you found this worthwhile. All right, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.